I've just received this lamp that I'm going to be using in future videos rather than using the LED one that I've got at the moment. And it's a Yongnuo YN-300 Air. And it's supposed to have a really good colour reproduction if you use this. So I haven't actually got a battery for it, but I'm going to use the DC input. So I'm going to have to use a buck converter to give me the 8 volts at 5 amps, because this is I think it's a 300 watt buck converter, so I'll definitely be able to get that much current out of it. So I'll connect this up and see how good the reproduction is from the LEDs. I'm going to start off by putting the plug on the end of the wire so that we can power the light from the buck converter. I'm going to get this connected up. I'm going to use this grey wire and just solder that on like that. That'll do. And I've already put the back of the plug on the wire. That's always a good start. Leave that off, it's always good fun. Do the entire joint again. Solder iron's just up to temperature now. Now we want the centre pin to be positive, so I'll just tin the terminals on there. One. I'll actually get the other side of this one. Poke the wire through. So we should do the positive pin first. Try and get it so I don't actually burn myself. No, not quite. Let's get it in the right place. There we go. There we go. That's pretty good. And what we can do with the other one is, so I'm going to make sure it is the black one. Yep, that's right. Stick it through the hole. Solder it on the other side. Get solder on there. And it is soldered, but it's going to be a bit sticky up, so there we go, that's better. Sticking up quite far there, but that's better now. And then get a pair of pliers. That'll do. Just to squeeze get these pliers in. Well, those pliers are stiff. Let's get some other ones. Just close that up a little bit. Like that. Stop it from pulling on there too much. And put that on there like that. Now that will go in the back of the light, just down on the floor. Just like that. And it's quite a flexible cable. So, you know, when I'm moving this lamp around, you know, it's not going to get too snagged on anything, so it should be pretty good. So now we'll do the other end. Now I want this cable quite long. I want to be able to move this anywhere I want. So I'll take quite a few feet, about 12, 15 feet there. We'll cut that there. And it's just a simple case of wiring this up to the the buck converter. Now, this buck converter was used in another project, and so it's already been adjusted for a different voltage, but I need 8 volts. So what I'll do is I'll actually put a voltage into it and then adjust the voltage trim and actually get the voltage to 8 volts. Obviously that'll be off load, but once I get the actual light on, we'll see what the voltage, if it drops down very much. So I'll do that next. And what I've decided I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use an old USB cable. I've cut the plug off already. And I'm going to use the 5 volts from this to go into the buck converter, which will step it up to 8 volts. And then I can plug this into anything that provides 5 volts. Well, that's the idea anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I've got quite high power USB power supplies, so I can actually use any of those pretty much. So I'll get that done. Now I'm going to assume that the red and black are the supply. So I'll actually plug this in and test it on my multimeter to make sure that it is actually 5 volts coming out of those two. And then actually see if it actually does power the buck converter up. So I'll just strip those wires. Get your multimeter. Put on 20 volts. And I'll plug it in. Just there. Make sure they're not touching together. What we got? Yep, there's your 5.1 volts, so that'll do us quite well. So we'll give me a screwdriver. This one's positive in. Get that in there. And yes, it is still plugged in. I'll actually unplug it while I do this. A bit late now, but there we go. That one plugged in there. We should see a little light come on the. There we go. Green LEDs come on. That's all very good. Now then, let's see what voltage we've got coming out the other side. Which way around is it? Right, yeah, the positive's on the outside. Let's get this multimeter over here. Actually see it. And we've got 5 volts coming out as well. So yeah, that's right. That's what I was actually using it for. So it was already a 5 volt output. So what we'll do is I'll actually get that pushed in there. I think that'll actually take it, or maybe not. No. So what we'll have to do then is actually hold these two with one hand as I adjust. Get those in there. There we go. Now one of these is for the current and the other one's for the voltage. So let's sit there. That's perfect. That one will be the current. Yep, that's the voltage, so it's turning down. So if we want to get that up to 8 volts, evidently it's not actually stepping it up, which is interesting, because it used to. Let's take it further, see if it actually does it. No, it's not actually doing it at all. Now, I was pretty sure that this was actually a step up as well as a step down. Certainly doesn't look like it's doing that. It's going down to 1.25 at the bottom end and only going as far as 5 on the top end. And this one was for the current. So that, in fact, that's wound right down to the bottom, that is. So doesn't look like this is going to do the job. So I might have to look into what this buck converter is then, if it's not actually allowing me to take that voltage up any higher. Yeah, it's certainly not going any higher. But then again, I'll have to have a look to see which one I actually bought then. So I'm sure this would go higher than that. We'll have a look. So evidently this isn't actually stepping up the voltage at all. I've even tried it on another supply as well, and that did the same thing. It only went up to 5 or 5.2 on this other supply. So what I'm going to end up doing is actually using another transformer instead of using the USB input. So I'll just get this output side of things sorted out, and then go and get the transformer sorted out. So it's negative on the center pin. The other transformer I've got is actually a 12 volt output, so that will definitely be able to drop down to 8 volts, which is what I need. So I'll go and get that, and actually get that wound down to 8 volts. Right, so I've got the power supply. It's actually a 12 volts, 20 amps, so it's quite a beefy one, but it's probably nowhere near that, but it's certainly going to be the voltage that I need. But certainly the current, I need 5 amps, so even if it was only half of the 20 amps that it says, yeah, it'd still give me enough for the 5 amps that I need. And this was from, I think it was from Banggood or somewhere like that. I got it a few years ago, but I've been using it in other projects, but I'm going to use it in this one now. So on the side, I don't know if that's going to focus that close actually, but you've got the AC input and then DC output. So I'll just change this over and get the buck converter stepping down to 8 volts. Right, we'll take the existing wire off. We no longer need that. That was just a short wire with another plug on, but obviously I don't want to put that straight into the lamp, because that'd be 12 volts, which is, it doesn't want that much, it just needs 8. So we'll take that one off. We'll use another bit of cable. This time it doesn't need to be so long, because it just needs to go from the transformer, which will pretty much sit on the floor, to the buck converter, which will probably just sit right next to it. And just leave it like that, really. So get these two cables. Get that in there. See which way it ends up turning that way. Underneath the little terminal. And the positive one. Push that down, because the mains actually goes in there, so I have to be quite careful with this. I just have to set it out of the way quite a bit, so I don't go near it once it's plugged in. Another little screwdriver, change this over. Yeah, we don't need much of this, I'll probably just leave it so that long. And hopefully that's what I need to do. Get this new lamp working. 1, 2. Make sure the negative was the black, which is the centre one. Get that pushed back in there. Now this buck converter actually come out of a project that I've been having running. It's actually Christmas lights with this same transformer, so I know it all works pretty well. But it's actually running on a Pi, so I'm actually going to probably move that over onto an Arduino at some point, and no doubt make a video of that as well. But at that point I'm going to need another transformer and another buck converter, either for the light or for the Christmas lights. Either way, it's pretty much a whole brand new build again. So that's pretty much in there. So we sit that down there. Also, I do need to check the output voltage. So I'll get me multimeter out again. Center pin's positive. Before we do that, let's plug it in. got green light, which is good. Positive, negative. There we go, got the 12 volts now. So now, if I wind this down, I should start seeing, so I'm turning that the wrong way still. Obviously these little trims go quite a long way, I'm turning that the wrong way. So let's turn it up this way, we should start seeing that come down. He says, it's a long old way to go to get that to start moving. There it comes, there we go. So if we bring that down to 8 volts, 8.07, 04, there we go. And we'll try that in the lamp, which is right here. And we plug that in, turn it on, and there we go. It's pretty bright. Now, I believe, yeah, that's on the lowest brightness. You probably can't even see that in the camera, it's probably blaring it out too much. But I'll have a little play with it and show you the outcome once I've got the power supply out of the way as well. So, the light itself, when you turn it on, you've got the two different colours of the LEDs. You've got 3200 I should say, and 5500K. And you can change the amount that they come on by, so that as I'm turning that there, it's going up in 10s, all the way up to 99, and back down again. You do the same with the 55. You can also put it on fine, so you can go up at 1s at a time. Which does make a difference. I mean, if you just want to, you can fine tune it. You can do the same with the value as well. So if you set that one to say 45 and set this one to, I don't know, 25, what you can do is you press and hold set, and that stores that. So if you turn it off and on again, it comes on with those values. But also if you then go all the way up to 100 on both of them, or 99, you can then press set again, and it'll actually take it right back down to, or up to, wherever it was on both values. Obviously the battery button will tell you the battery, probably the amount of batteries left, but obviously I'm running it on DC, so it just says DC on there. That's pretty much it. The actual LEDs themselves, it's a grid like that. It's probably far too bright to see. So if I put them on the lowest setting, so put it on 1 and on 1, that'll be the darkest they can go, dimmest. So there's quite an array of LEDs in there. So I'll test it out and try it, see how it comes out for my videos.